the topic of today's session, that is online tool for research. Okay, and these are all the contents of today's session. I'm going to talk something about EndNote, and I'm going to spend most of the time of today's session in discussing something about EndNote. And finally, what are all the plagiarism checkers that are available? Then few of the digital tools that you can use it for uh, doing some research work. And finally, the search engines, what kind of search engines are available. So those kind of things I'm going to talk about. Then article visualization. So once you write your article, once you write your paper, you can visualize what kind of uh, how it looks like, so that you can do, and you can connect with others. So the research is something you have to always connect with others. You have to get from comments and feedback for your paper. So in that case, you can do that. And outsourcing experiments. So sometimes there is a situation arises for you to go with the outsourcing the experiment. So outsourcing is nothing but you have to utilize the laboratory facilities available at the some other institution which is very far from yourself. It may be some countries also. Okay, so that is possible. Then you can have some journal reviews and advisors from the people who are very expertise in your area. Then I'm going to discuss something about evaluation tools. So what are the evaluation tools you can use it for the paper? Then some of the writing tools for one of the example is reference manager. Then collaborative writing tools. What are all the other collaborative writing tools? Then how to connect with experts. So you can find out there are so many experts may be available in your area. Suppose if you are working in data science, or if you are working in machine learning, whatever may be your area, you have a huge list of experts. Those are available. And finally, I'm going to talk something about on drawing tools. Okay, so these are all the overall content of the presentation. So before getting into the presentation, there may be a question right in your mind. So the question may be why we have to go with the online tools. So what is the necessity? Why I have to learn online tools? So here are some of the things that will give you answer for the question. And the step one, the research is the vast, it is a vast process where you will have the multiple steps. It is not going to be a single step. You will have a multiple steps. So in step one, we are going to define a problem. So what kind of problem you are going to address, or what kind of problem you have taken to solve in your research. That is what the defining of problem. Then finally, you are going to frame the objectives. What are the objectives of your research work? Then you have to form some methodology by means of some hypothesis. In second step, we have to collect and evaluate the secondary data. So what are all the secondary data available, and what is the primary data? Of course, that depends on the type of research, whatever you are going to take. And step three, you are going to analyze the data. Sometimes you may be depending on software, sometimes you may be depending on some equipments which are very sophisticated, and sometimes you need very simple equipment. So it's based on a kind of research, right? And step three, final step is you have to prepare a research report. So the research is something that have all the things. So definitely you need some helping stick. I can say a guiding stick. So the guiding stick is the one which will guide you how to walk on, and it will make your paper organized manner. It will make your paper in a effective manner. That's why these online tools are coming into a picture. So this kind of expression, have you ever heard? If you are definitely a PhD scholar right now, definitely you will have this kind of emotions in your mind. And if you are a doctorate, definitely you had this feeling whenever you have done your PhD. During that period, you could have experienced all these feelings, right? So these kind of emotions we used to often get in our mind whenever we try to write a paper, and whenever we try to publish a paper in a journal. Okay, so that is what the important part I told you, references. Okay, So once you write the references, you should be very careful. You have to write the references as per the journal guidelines. Okay, you cannot just go with as per your comfort. So if you are applying for some Elsewhere journal, you have to follow the guidelines from Elsewhere. If you are applying for a Springer, if you are applying for a Nature Science, whatever may be, if you are applying for Institution of Engineers or IVA journals or Taylor and Francisco or Willy, whatever may be, you have to stick with the reference formats that they are giving. Okay, so in that case, if your paper is getting rejected in one journal, if you are trying to send it to the another journal, you have to change the entire reference part. Okay, whereas the content and methodology, just you can select and you can change the font, that's all, and you can change the style. But whereas reference is a very tedious part where you have to spend some time whenever you are trying to submit for a journal. So that's why I have to do this. And also research is some kind of feeling, as I said. It is what your friends will think that you will do, sometimes what your family members, sometimes what the society thinks, and of course sometimes you have to obey your guide, that is he is your boss, he or she may be your boss, and sometimes you will try to do things whatever you want to do. So then finally you do not know what kind of work you are doing. That is what the actual scenario of research in most of our cases. And the tool that I told you is nothing but EndNote. Okay, so it is a tool from Clarivative Analytics. It was released by the people from Clarivative Analytics company. The name is EndNote. Okay, so the main features of the EndNote is you can import the reference from online database. So the reference are the one that we cannot get in hand very soon. We have to refer so many websites for that, and we have to search your work on the internet so that you can get some relevant reference. So getting reference is not a big work, but getting reference which is relevant to your work is very important. And EndNote will have some advantage on, you can create some custom group and add reference to it. You can have it your own group. Okay, so that is possible in case of EndNote. And you can find full text PDF to add as a reference. Sometimes you cannot find out if you are getting an entire PDF document of your journal paper which is relevant to you. You can do that, you can store that, and you can write bibliography using different style format. There are different style formats the journal will expect, right? APA style and a Mano-Ever style. Likewise, you have different styles the journal will ask you to write. So you can do that by using EndNote. And finally, there is an advantage of adding page numbers to a citation. So automatically the page numbers will be added up in your reference. So this is what some of the benefits of using EndNote. And before getting into that, let us see what is EndNote, what is the definition for that. And EndNote is a reference management software package. So it is basically a reference management software that will help you to manage the assignments or sometimes thesis, sometimes articles, sometimes dissertations. So it is possible with the help of EndNote. It is not only for a journal, where if you are a scholar, if you are writing your thesis work, definitely you can use this. And if you are giving some kind of assignments, especially in terms of research, you can use this. So that is what the definition for EndNote. And the software is available for both PC and Mac. And of course, there is a web version also available. So if you want to access from your college or if your office, you can use web version very freely. So that provision is there in case of EndNote. And finally, the EndNote will allow you to store all the references that you find during your research. So it is no matter how many work you have or how many research paper you have, you can try to store all the references. That is what possible. And you can store PDF files and of course pictures and graphs and tables. So all kinds of tools you can try to store in your EndNote. And finally, as I said, you have different writing styles, right? Chicago, MLA, APA, and Vanuco. So these are all some of the styles the most of the journal expect from you to write. So these styles are inbuilt available in EndNote, and almost there are 6,000 styles are available. From that, you can choose whichever fits for you or whichever suits for you. And whenever I talk about EndNote, there may be a first question arising in your mind: what will be the cost, or whether it is available freely or not, right? Definitely, all of you are getting that question in your mind. So here is the answer for that question. You can try out EndNote with your 30 days free trial. So you can use it and you can feel how far it is convenient for you. Then accordingly, you can take a decision whether you have to purchase or not. And once you did a trial, you can purchase with a one-time cost of starting cost of 7,570 rupees. Okay. So whatever I suggest as a faculty working in your college is you just write a requisition letter to your college, those stating all the features of the EndNote, and the college can purchase so that all the departments or all the institutions can utilize their software. But you have to check with the number of users also. So that is the initial cost. And if you want no further, kindly log into the website http://endnote.com. It will give you the entire information on what is EndNote. So many things are available. You can surf on that and you can get the information. And in EndNote, you can, as I said, there is no limit to store the number of references, and it is recommended always that don't go for more than 1 lakh references. That is what the suggestion from EndNote, in order to have the performance of the database. Okay, that is what the main issue. And in EndNote, all your references are stored in a library. I will show you how the library looks like. And coming to the introduction part, so in the EndNote, all the data will be stored in the folder called library, because we know that library is a place where we used to stack the books, right? So similar kind of things are happening here. So in case of library, all the references will be stored there as a database. So the folder name is called a library. So the EndNote libraries will have the extension called .env. Like whatever you have Word, Excel, and PPT, you have some extension, right? File extension, that is .doc, .docx, and .pptx. Likewise, for library also you have the extension called .enl. Okay, so this is the file we have to open, and the symbol looks like this. So can you see here at the down? So it is like my EndNote library .enl. And each library has a corresponding folder with the extension. So whenever you have a library, there will be a corresponding folder to that library with the extension called .data. Okay. So I will show you what is the difference between library and data, and I will show you the demo also on that. And this folder will have a kind of images, whatever you are going to store from the internet for your research work, and also you can store some PDF files also. That is what the folder will contain. And if you move or copy or rename or delete whatever action you perform on a library folder, please try to do the same thing with your data folder. Okay, have you understood? So if you are removing a library folder, you have to remove the data folder. If you are adding some library folder, you have to add the corresponding data folder. So whatever actions you do on the library folder, the same kind of actions has to be done on your data folder. So remember that point. And this is a kind of folder you will get once we create the data. That is my EndNote library dot, the extension is .data. And as I said, within your library, you can create some groups, that is called subgroups or subset, that can organize your reference. For example, I want to, your research area can be split into 2 or 3 categories. where you want to have different kind of works. Okay, so suppose I am a civil engineer, so let me give you some small example on that. Suppose I am working on corrosion, my paper is relevant to corrosion, and my paper is relevant to concrete, and my paper is relevant to some software. So I can create some separate folder for a software, I can create separate folder for corrosion, and I can create separate folder for concrete. Okay, similar kind of things, that is organizing things, is possible in case of library. And references can be transferred easily between EndNote and the online version. I told you there is a Mac version, there is a PC version also available. In cases, suppose if you want to store all your data in online database, that is also possible. And if you want to transfer file from your desktop to online platform, that is also possible. So you can copy the files, you can move the files, so from web version into PC version. Okay, basically that is what happening. So that you can do. And you can share the references. If you are, I told you exactly, there will be many authors. Sometimes you have to share your reference with your scholars, or sometimes if you have to share your data with your guide. So all these kinds of things are definitely possible. And you can store all the information relevant to bibliography, and you can organize the things, like you can store the keywords, you can find out the keywords and abstracts and notes and URLs. Even you can annotate PDF. Annotate is something you are going to highlight something and you can write some notes on that. It is basically called sticky notes. Most of you heard the term called sticky notes. So that also we can do. So that is also possible with the help of EndNote. And you can add, you can share the EndNote with, you can share your database with 100 people. Okay? So that is what possible. And whether they are from outside the country or within the country or outside the state, so no matter on that, you can share with 100 people. And this is what we pick one. Okay, in between I have some small tips for you, because I feel most of you are belongs to research and you are doing research and you are completed research, you are guiding the research people. So it will help you in one or another way. So the tip one for today's session is, first you find out the broad area of your research. Okay, so don't confuse and try to find out some broad area. So in this case, pollution is the broad area. Then focus on the sub area. So focus on what kind of problem you are going to address. So in this case, acid rain. Then narrow down your topic. So acid rain is there in every places, right? So what place you are going to choose and what kind of problems you are going to address. That is what the narrow down. So acid rain in the US is the topic that the researcher want to address. Then ask some research questions among yourself or within yourself. No, it will give you a answer for, no, it will give you clarity of your research work. So, and then try to compare and try to find out what are all the causes and what are all the effects, and try to measure. So if you are, especially in case of mechanical and ECE and civil kind of people, they will try to measure some parameters. They will try to measure the temperature, they will try to measure the displacement, they will try to measure the noise. Likewise, so many parameters are there. So try to measure that and develop some main concepts and what is happening, have some keywords and try to develop the concept. So this is what the, how you have to organize your research work before you try to start your research work. Okay, and you have to install a EndNote. So that is a basic installation procedure. If you once you try to log into endnote.com, you will be guided with how to install. So it is very very simple process. So that's why I'm not going to talk much about installation. So directly I want to go to the page. So once you install, this is what the page you will get. Okay, so this is what the menu bar you are going to get once you install the EndNote. Okay, if you see here, you can get edit file. Okay, so edit file is something. Okay. So you have the options called file and edit. Okay, if you open the file, usually you will get these kind of options: new, open library, open shared library, and open reason. So if you want to create a new library, you have to choose the option new. These are all some of the icons that are available in the menu bar. And at the right hand side corner, you will have the help symbol. Okay. So if you want to have any, if you want to clarify any questions or anything, you can just click on this button. And basically the EndNote will have three panels. Okay. The left one and the center panel and the right one. So the left panel is called as group panel. Okay. GROUP, group panel. So the group panel will have all kinds of folders. Can you see here? There are a folders called BAT, there is a folder called Avian Intelligence. So you can create so many folders and also subfolders. Okay, so that is happening in the group panel. Okay, that is the left one, that is the first panel. So come to the intermediate panel. That panel is called reference list panel. So whatever reference you will be storing in your folders, so that will be basically appeared here. So suppose if I have almost some 31 reference in Avian Cognition, then all the 31 reference will be appeared on the middle of the panel. That is called reference panel. Okay. So once you click on this, you will be taken to the information of that. So that is the right side of the panel. That is called as tab panel, tab panel. So once you click on start to build close, then automatically all the information will come here. Who are the author, what is the year of publication, and what is the title, and what is the journal, and what is the volume issue number. So all the information you will get once you click on the author. Okay. So I hope all of you understood. So you have three kinds of panels. One is group panel, another one is reference list panel, and the last one is tab panel. So group panel will have one is tab panel. Tab panel is something where you will get all the information about that paper. Okay, about the paper, about the single paper. Okay, if you want to click the first paper like here, if you click on that, you will get the entire information. Similar kind of things are possible. So it is having three kinds of panels, and this is what. So if you want to check on the details of the author, just have a double click on that. So if you double click on this author, you will get all the information about the paper. And this is what the some of the other options available. You can find out here. So each reference has its own unique number. So if you try to store the journal paper, the EndNote will give the reference number for that. Okay. So each paper will be given some reference number. So in this case, if you see the reference number is given as like go to 2012 ash, then 2308 is the reference number given by the EndNote. Just remember, it is not a number given in the website. It is the number given by the EndNote software for your paper. Okay, it is only for the reference purpose. Then you can have some options like font. You will have different kinds of font like Word, and you will have different kinds of sizes, and you can increase or decrease the size by using this button. And you can have the option called setting option here, and you can display and you can do rating kind of things. And these are all some of the information relevant to the paper. That is what is the volume, what is the issue number, and what is the page number. And at the end, you can find out, it will give you the URL of the page. So if once you have URL, just you can directly click on that, it will take you to that page. Okay. And if you have the entire paper you have saved in your folder, then you can get that PDF file also. That is also possible. And finally, you have some author address, right? So where the author is working, in which country they belongs to, and which institution they are working in. All such kinds of informations you can just know. You can play like anything. If you want to change any font style, if you want to justify, if you want to change bold, italic. So all kinds of basic word options are available in the EndNote. And the next thing is these kind of, you have some option called recently added. Okay, so recently added is a temporary group showing recent additions to your library. Suppose you have added some 5 papers yesterday, so that is your recent, right? So in that case, you can try to open that if you want to know that, like how we once you open the Word file, if you want to find out some recent files, you will click on the recent. Same kind of actions will be happening here. So that is for only for viewing the recent file. If you want to view some file that you have been added yesterday or today, those kinds of actions will be done here. So once you go to the reference panel, you can find out the icon called paper clip. Can you see here? There is an icon for paper clip. So that is giving you the information that some file has been attached with your record. You have some PDF file that you can view. Okay. If the paper icon is not there, you can understand that there is no corresponding file. You have only the abstract. There is no PDF file is available with you. So all kind of things can be possible with the help of EndNote. And if you want to circle, if you want to make some, if you want to circle that paper, and if you want to, if you feel that it is very important paper for your research work, you can know circle, you can mark it the paper, you can mark it, and so that whenever you open your library, you can understand that these are all the files very important for you, and these are all the things that you have to give more priority than other papers. So those kinds of things are possible in EndNote. And you have some rating system, and these are all some of the rating system, you can give some 4-star rating and 3-star rating. That is only given by you for the paper. Okay, so by that you can understand how far it is important for your research work. If the paper is not relevant to you, you can give 1 star. If the paper is more relevant to you, you can give 5 star. That is depends on you. You have to decide yourself what kind of rating you want to give to the paper. Okay, I hope if I am very speed, kindly stop me because I have very vast number of tools. That's why I am going bit speed. Okay. Then how to create a own EndNote library? For that, just go to File and just click on New. Okay. So once you click on New, different kinds of drives will be open, like F drive, K drive. So whatever drive you want to store, just click on that. Then your library will be created. Just you have to note down the only one option. The extension is .enl. Okay. Then only you will be saving in a right manner. So then give the save option. So this is the way how you have to create a library. Okay, once you install EndNote. And the next thing is importing the references. I will tell you how to import the references from Web of Science. So I have taken Web of Science to show the demonstration. And this is where if you go to Web of Science, this is where the search box will be available like this. So I want to type it some zombie science, right? So you are using some keywords. So then click on the search button. So once you click on the search button, you will get these kinds of informations. Even once you type in a Google also, you will get this type of informations, or you can use academic.edu, or you can use, there are Google Scholar, whatever maybe. If you do that, you will get these informations, right? So if the article is relevant to you, or if you want to store the article to your library, you have to check the click the checkbox. Can you see the checkboxes available there? You have to click the checkboxes available there. Okay, so once you click the checkbox, you have done. And if there will be a menu bar like this at the top of the web page. Okay, at the top right corner of the web page. So after the session, you can try this. If there is any clarifications, I will there to help you, and you can get the clarifications even after the session also. So we will get this kind of drop down icon. So once you click the drop down icon, you will get the option called Save to EndNote Desktop. Okay. So other thing you have is Save to EndNote Online, and Save to other file formats, and Save to Researcher ID, whatever you have. But because we are working on EndNote, so try to have this option. Try to EndNote desktop. If you want to use it online, you can give this option EndNote online. So once you have done this, click the save option. Okay, then it will ask you what kind of information you want, whether you want author and title and source and abstract. So there are different kinds of formats are available. Whichever format you want to choose, then you can choose that. Once you have chosen that, you can click send option. Okay, so once you click on that, all the information will be taken to the library. This is the way how to import the references from the Web of Science or any search engine. And can you see here? So once you import the references, you will have a folder called imported references. So right now I have imported 8 references. So it is showing me currently you have 8 references in your imported folder. Okay. So once you double click the folder, you will get what are all the 8 papers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 8 papers here. Okay. So in 8 paper, I do not have the paper clip icon. So it means that I have only the abstract and other informations. I do not have the entire paper, full paper I don't have. That is what the meaning of paper clip. But I feel that all the 8 papers are very important for me. So I am trying to shade the circle. Okay, if you click the circle, it will be shaded. So that is what the meaning of this shaded circles. So this is what, so right now we have seen what is EndNote. Okay, and EndNote is basically a reference manager software where you are going to manage all kinds of references, all kinds of database for your research work. Okay, you have 2 things has to be noted down. One is the folder called library, where you are going to store all kinds of research information. The another folder is called data. So the each library will have the corresponding data folder. So that is what I told you. And I have shown you how the menu bar will looks like and what all the options you will get once you click on the EndNote. And there are 3 panels. One is group panel and reference panel and the tab panel. Likewise, you have 3 panels. Okay, you can create a groups, you can create a subgroups, you can give rating, and you can give some paper clip icon if the full paper is available. Then I told you something about how to import the reference from the Web of Science or from any search engine. Okay, so this is what the content till now we have seen. With that, I would like to give you a small tip on research again. So no, research is, as I told, many people know used to fed up with research. They will try to quit from the research. They will try to blame the guide. They will try to blame the system, and they do not want to do research and all. They will fed up. Okay, that is what the kind of feeling all will have. But it is not like that. Once you are doing your research in an organized manner, in a planned manner, or once you love your research, or once you have appetite for your research work, it will be very easy. You can enjoy your research work. So that is what my experience at IIT Roorkee. Initially, I had some struggle. It was very difficult for me to learn the programming and to adopt with the system. But slowly, I tried to I tried to have some passion on that and try to love my research work. So slowly it happened for me, and over the course of time, really I cannot quit my research. I do not want to complete my PhD degree. I want to still continue. I want to work on that. I want to still stay on the campus. I do not want to leave the campus. That is what a kind of feeling I got. So that is what once you also have the passion for research, try to like your research, whatever research you are doing. There are many difficulties in getting data, and you will have lot of hindrances. No matter whatever you have, if you are really passionate, or if you are really a person who who wants to do the research, definitely all kinds of hindrances will go off. Okay, so at one point of time you will be clearing all your hindrances and you will be a successful researcher. So that is what. But you should be very patient. That is very important aspect of research. You should be very slow, you should be very steady. If you rush up and if you fed up, definitely research will not work for you. So these are all some of the kind of tips you can follow. And first find out what kind of topic is going on, whether people has already done that or not, what kind of new work you are going to address, whether it is a old one or it is a new one. If you are developing a new one, how you are going to validate your work, how you are giving your work as a benchmark, and what kind of justifications you are going to put forward to prove your research. So all kinds of things, try to answer these kind of questions. Definitely you can be very strong in your research work. So coming to the session, so you can edit the records also. Okay, so if there is a so this is the topic I have stored in my library. You can change whether if you want a sentence case, lower case, upper case, whatever maybe you can do that. Okay, so that is what possible. And finally, your reference will be having like this. That is the author name and a year and the topic of the paper and the journal name and what is the volume and issue number and what is the page number. This is what the style you are going to get. But later on, you can change the style whatever you want, as I said. Then even you can find out, import the full text. So if you want to import the full text from the website, that is also possible. I will show you how to do that. And here there is a option. Can you see here there is a circle option? It is like the option is circle with the mark like this. So if you click that, it will directly take you to the website and it will try to find out whether the PDF is available or not for the corresponding author. Okay, so in order to search in the website, you can use this tool. Okay, and it's like a kind of steering what we have in our car and all. So those kind of steering kind of tools icon is available at the top. So once you click on that, it will try to search on the website. It will find out whether the paper is available, full paper is available or not. So once the full paper is available, it will try to automatically import from the website. Okay, so this is what the PDF corresponding to this paper. So if once you click on that, your entire PDF will be coming at the right hand side. So that's why you are getting this paper clip icon. So remember what I told is, once you have this paper clip icon, it mentions that and it represents that your paper is having entire content, that is the entire PDF is there in your library. And the third tip I want to give you is, so sometimes we fail to search in a proper manner and we will try to give copy paste options in the search option. People nowadays they find very lazy and they do not want to type themselves, they want to copy paste. So don't copy paste. If you are really copy pasting, you cannot search the items exactly you want. Okay, so in that words you should have some small keywords. So you can coin the keywords by using some search terms like and or not. Okay, like corrosion monitoring and corrosion assessment. Okay, and like that you can have some crispy search words that will take you to the page where you want to take the information. So don't try to keep very big search keywords or search words. Try to narrow down yourself. Try to find out some relevant keywords. That is very, very important in research. Always try to have some relevant search. And if once you highlight the item, you can click the open link. So this is what the open link. So once you click the open link, your database will be opened. Okay, so otherwise you can also use the option Ctrl+G. So that is shortcut available for that. So once the PDF is available, it will try to show like this. Okay, so it will be stored in your drive, whatever you have chosen initially whenever you have opened your library file. So if it is a drive, F drive, so it will be stored there. So once you have saved the PDF, then click the attach file. So once you stored in your drive, then you have to click this paper clip. So once you click the icon, it will automatically store. Your PDF will be stored. That is the way how to import the PDF files from the websites or any Web of Science engines. So here is the file. It will be appearing here, content server.pdf. So if you want to open that, try to open the button. It will be automatically opened. So once you click here, it will be automatically opened. Okay. And this is what the another tip I want to give you, because use the upside down triangle method. Just try to write the things. What are the things that has to be given priority? What are the things that has to be given less priority? Likewise, you try to make some triangle, which is basically upside down approach. And always be short. Don't go for a lengthy paper, and don't go for 20 page, 35 page like that. People used to do that. Don't do that. Always be very short, and follow journal guidelines. Suppose if you are submitting to some other journal called Engineering Structures, which is a elsewhere one, try to stick on the guidelines with that. Okay. Sometimes we try to overlook on that. Don't do that. If you do that, immediately our paper will get rejected. Okay. So always try to have some visual presentation. So whoever you feel that they are very secure persons, like your colleagues or your family members, your students, just make some presentation in front of them. They will give you some real feedbacks on your paper. So try to get always feedback for your paper, and always be clear on your methodology. Okay, so you should not be you should be very strong in defining your methodology. This is what some of the tips while writing a research paper. Okay, and next part is we are going to see how to annotate PDF. So annotation is nothing but something we are going to highlight. Okay, this option is available in your PDF, normal PDF file also. So the same kind of options are available here. You can take a printout, you can send a mail, and if you want to share, you can share. And if you can copy to any of the hard disk or like that pen drives, that is also possible. And this is what they are highlighted. Okay, if you feel that some topic, some portion of your PDF file is very important for you, you want to refer it later, after a month or after 2 months, you can highlight them just with some colors. So it will be understood that if you have highlighted, it is very important for you. And sometimes you can have these sticky icons also. You can click on that. If you want to write something on that, it is very important for me. I want to create some new methodology relevant to it, whatever maybe. You can have your notes, own notes on by writing sticky notes. That is also possible. And this is some, if you want to hide the search panel, you can hide. If you want to unhide that, you can do again unhide. And if you want to search as a PDF, you can search. Or if you want to search by author, that is also possible. By means of first author means you can search. So different search options are available. So whatever option you want to go with that, you can use that. And let me tell you something about how to import reference from Google Scholar, because Google Scholar is the one most of the people will be using for the references, right? So go to Google Scholar, okay, and whatever research work you want to search, just give the topic. So once you give the topic, you will get the dialog box like this, and at the bottom you can find out some options like cited by 61. It is a related article, and all 5 versions are available, and cite and save. Okay, so I want to cite, so click on the cite options. So once you click on the cite option, it will ask you for different styles. Okay, can you see here the different style? MLA is the style, and APA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver. So these are all some of the style formats that are available. Only within these style formats, the journal will ask you to submit the paper. Okay, so this style format is the year is coming here. Here the year is going at the end. So likewise, you have different style formats. Whichever style format you want to adopt, just click on that. and give the option reference manager. REF MAN is also there. Otherwise, if you want to go with EndNote, go with that. And once you click on that, click on the open button. So once you click on the open button, so you will get the icon like this. Then you have to click on the icon called find reference updates. So once you click on this, whatever information you have selected there, it will be added to your database. Okay. The only thing you have to do is you have to do find reference update. And the another thing is you can also update the empty fields. Okay, so you just click on this author. You can take this author here, this side and that side. You can move the things. That is what here this menu bar will do. And if EndNote cannot find the updated reference for the item, you could try returning the Google Scholar, and you can click the title and you can find out what is the link for that, and from the EndNote. Okay, then you can try to download. So that is what the another option you have, and you can manually also add it. Either you can download from the internet or you can manually add it. If you have some files already with you, just you can add them manually. For that you have to use this icon, a plus icon with the notepad symbol. So otherwise you can have shortcut key called Ctrl+N. So it will be automatically added manually. Whatever file you want to add, you can add them manually. So these are all the other options. So once you click on the author or article, you will get all the information like when they have done, who has done that, what they have did, and where they have done, all kind of information. This is a scroll bar, everyone knows. So all kinds of basic operations are available. And if you want to edit the names, you can edit the names as per the style, different styles available. So if you want to use some ETL options, if the authors are more than 3, you can use some ETL options. That also possible. If you do not know who is the author, and you do not know which year it was published, you can give the name as anonymous works. Anonymous is something you do not know much information on that. So that is also possible. And let me give you the tip 5 for research work. So there is a number called DOI, right? Many of them heard. So let us see what is the DOI. So DOI nothing but digital object identifier. So it is nothing but digital object identifier. So it is a unique string of characters and that are used to identify an electronic journal. Okay, so that is basically a number given to refer the electronic journal. So if you have the DOI number, once you directly type on your DOI number, you will get all the information of the paper. So that's why the journal office is giving DOI number to each and every paper, so that you can use it later. So DOI number will not change anymore. So it is going to be a one-time number that has been allotted by the office for you. That is a journal office. Okay. So that is what the DOI number is. So the DOI number will looks like this. You have http and dx.doi.org, and this is what the number format that has been assigned by the journals. Even you can attach some images, you can attach some figures or tables and charts with your EndNote. Okay, so that way you can do lot of things. Whatever chart you want to save, table, all the things you can save in your EndNote. So if you want to open the figure, whatever you want to attach, just click on this icon. That is basically attach figure icon. So once you click on that, it will give you the pop-up menu like this. It will ask you to choose the file. So choose the file, then click on the OK button. So whatever image you want to insert, it will be inserted automatically. So if you want to double click the image, if you double click on that, you will get the caption. Okay, caption is nothing but what is the title of the image, what is the source, and which year it has been taken. So Giving caption also is possible, and inserting the figure also possible in case of EndNote. Then finally, tip 6 of the session, that is again same things only, and choose the words very carefully. Don't try to go with more complex words, and also don't go with the simple words also. Try to have some moderate words while whenever you write the paper, and use technical jargons carefully. If you are writing technical paper, you should be very very careful that you are using the technical terms in a right way at the right place. That is very important. Okay, just because you want to use, don't use the words. Wherever you want to put the words in appropriate place, put it exactly at that place. Then only you can have the entire meaning of your sentence, okay, or a phrase. So that is what I want to give you a tip. And yeah, with this I have finished my end note. Now the time is 12:14, so let us go very fast because I have a lot of things to discuss. So EndNote, I told you how to do import options, how to save the file, how to see the file, how to insert the figures, everything I told you. Okay. So if you have any queries, we can have at the end of the session. So let us go to the plagiarism checker. So plagiarism is a kind of thing or a kind of process we have to do before submitting to the journal. There are some paid plagiarism software tools. There are some unpaid also available. But the difference is, in case of paid plagiarism tools, you can have the authentication, or you can ensure yourself that it is giving 100% plagiarism rate. If you go for some online plagiarism checkers, you can have some deviation on that. So that is what the only difference. If you do not have any purchased plagiarism software, you can go with the Turnitin or Authenticate. Those are all some of the software that are paid one. Okay, if you want to go with some free online tools, so these are all some of the free online tools. That is smalltools.com and qtext.com, duplichecker.com. Grammarly is for both grammar checking and plagiarism checking. So all these plagiarism checkers are available, and some of the digital tools are available. I will just give you the link, and you can find out whatever link you want. You can just click on these tools, and these are all some of the search engines available. That is, of course, nearly 40 search engines. Don't worry about all the search engines. I have taken only from the internet. You can just go to Google and type it search engines for a research. You will get all kinds of search engines. So it is not a new one. I have taken only from the Google one. So these are all some of the websites for article visualization. These are all some of the websites for connection with others. Like you have Pyrus, and you have ResearchGate, you have Research Connections. So all these kinds of connections are possible. Again, this is the different websites for connection. And as I said, if you are a people belonging to civil or mechanical or not computer science, so EC and all, we need some equipments, or we need some laboratory facilities to work on. Okay. So in that case, if you find your equipment is, or your instrument is available somewhere in UK or somewhere in Japan or Singapore, whatever maybe, you can ask for sourcing the equipments. You can pay for that, and some cases it is available freely also. They are giving some free service that you have to find out. So in that case, you can use these websites to find out what kind of experiments are available at the for outsourcing purpose. And even you can raise the fund for your research work. You can write for some grants. You can get some funding. So these are all some of the websites for that. That is Instrumental, then Pivot and Publicon. So all these kinds of things. And you can have some journal reviews and advisors from these websites called Journal Guide and Romeo, and all these things are possible. And finally, you can evaluate your research. Okay, you can evaluate by sending to some people. You can get the comments, and once you get the comments and research work, you don't try to if you get more comments, don't try to worry about that. If you get more and more comments, there is a chance of more and more refining your paper. That is what. Don't fed up with if you get more comments. Try to work on those comments. Try to incorporate those comments on your paper, and try to refresh everything and try to resubmit. Okay. if you carry on this process at one stage, your paper will be a very good paper that you can try for any SCA journal. That is what you have to evaluate your research by using all these websites, and you can have some writing tools, reference manager, EndNote is one tool that we have discussed today, and PaperPile, Mendeley. So all these tools are available. As I told, if you some author is sitting in India, some author is there in foreign countries, you can use some collaborative writing tools. So these are all some of the websites; those are available as a collaborative writing tools. And you can connect with the experts and researchers by means of all these websites. Uh, and this is the tip 7. So I think I covered everything. And go for good citations and go with some good graphics. Don't just copy paste the figure. You have to ensure that the clarity of the figure is very good, and tell people about your articles. You can use Google Scholars, and there are so many social medias are available. Academia.edu. In that, no, you can tell your papers, what work you are doing, so everything, so that you can improve your citation work. You can improve your index value. Okay. So these are all some of the things. Really, I do not have time. That's why I'm rushing up to show up all the tools. So in a paper, you want to draw some figures, you want to draw some flowcharts, some pictures on that. So you want to create some tables and you want to create some mind maps. You should be very interactive, right? So in that case, you need some help from the website on some drawing tools. So I will show you some of the drawing tools. So eDraw is a kind of drawing tool, okay? Capital E and DRAWA, eDraw. And in eDraw, some of the versions are paid versions and some of the versions are, you can use it freely for a month. And if you are downloading for freely, you can access only few options. If you are paying for that, you can access all the options. But all these tools are very, very low price. Okay? Only 750 per month or 1000 per month. It is not a big thing for us to spend for our research work. So in that case, you can purchase. There are different options are available for Mac and Linux and Windows. So whatever operating system you have, based on that, you can choose the installation process. That is eDraw. Then linkspace.org is also another website where you can use it for drawing the tools. And GIMP, GIMP is also another free software where you can use. I will show you demo of one of the. Then another one is TikZ, TIKZ. TikZ is also a kind of drawing tool where you can have some flowcharts like this and diagrams and all. Okay. So these are all something drawing tools. So I feel that I do not have, feel I am only speaking. So I want to have some interaction with the audience. So just we'll take some small break. Can anyone answer for this question? What will be the answer for this puzzle or whatever may be? You can just write it in a chat box. Just try to write in a chat box. Don't unmute yourself. I will take it from chat box. I will show you once again. What will be the answer for this puzzle? Any guesses? Any guesses from anyone? Just have a close look on the image. You will get the answer. Don't rush up and don't speed up. Let me check out the chat box. 110, 97, 41, no, sorry, no. 35, no. 26, 33, 27, 23, no. No right answer. Again, have a look on this once again so that you can try to find out. I did not find any answer relevant to the exact answer. So can all the participants can have one more try? What could be the answer here?
One or two.
No, 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 sorry.
It's 81.
Yeah, 80. Your good name, sir?
Sudhakar.
From which
Sudhakar.
college? Sudhakar from which college?
From Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology, Chennai.
Okay, okay. Very
I'm
good,
an
sir.
alumni of alumni of Saidamal Engineering College.
Alumni of?
Saidamal Engineering College, the host college.
Oh, fine, fine. Okay, okay. Sayyadamal Engineering College. Okay, very good. So 81 is the right answer, because in the second row you can see you have 5 petals, and here you have only 4 petals. That is the one thing. And you have multiplication symbol here, and you have yellow color flower. Only one flower is here, whereas here you have 2 flowers. So 1 plus 20 into 4. 1 plus 20 into 4 is the answer. That is 81 is the answer. Just I want to have a small interaction, that's why. And draw.io is the another online drawing tool. I will show you. I will give you a list of tools, but I will show you a demo of one tool. Draw.io is the another kind of tool you can get, and Microsoft Visio. Microsoft Visio also one kind of tool, but you should have some Microsoft account for that. Then only you can sign in, and you can use different templates available. And Smart Draw is the another kind of online tool that you can use. And finally Gliffy.com, Gliffy, Gliffy.com is the another tool you have. Okay, and let me go on to one of the tools. I will show you how to draw that. Quickly I will finish off. Let me try on draw.io. Okay, so I'm going to the website. So draw.io is the thing I want to view. So once you click on this, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So it is coming. 1 second. The flowchart maker. It is basically a flowchart maker. Okay. So let me go into smartdraw.com. Okay. So once you go to smartdraw.com, you will have the options called Start Now. You can use the downline edition, or you can download the Windows desktop edition. For that, you have to click on download option. So whatever operating system you are using, so based on that you can do. And if you come here, you will have the different kinds of diagrams. Okay, and you have different kinds of templates also available. So I want to click on the diagram. So just click on the diagrams. So you will get different types of diagrams. Okay, you can have some chart based diagrams. You can have some graph based diagrams. And if you want to have some floor plans, if you are a civil engineer or diploma of civil engineering, you can have some schematic kind of diagrams here. So that is also possible. So all kinds of diagrams are here. So if you want to give some mind map, some map diagrams, some line graph, and lesson plan, if you want to create some lesson plan, if you want to create some pyramid chart, you want to create some certificate, and if you want to draw a picture which is giving you the information like cause and effect, block diagram, bar graph, application form, all kinds of diagrams are available. Whichever kind of diagram you want to use that, just click on that. And for example, family tree I want to, so this is the family kind of tree. So you can explore that, but once you have to download, then only we can use all these options. So this is a family tree. So you can go with the family tree. What are all the templates available? You can see there are different kinds of templates. Those are available as a family tree. So you can choose the template also. Otherwise, you can create your own template also. So that is all possible with the help of SmartDraw. There are many tools available. Just you have to pick up which tool is. So now I have clicked the three options, the template. So I want this kind of records family. So click on that. So we will get that page. You can edit the options. You can edit. You can change in color. You can change the text. You can do anything you want to do for your paper. Okay, that is what possible here. Just a minute. Yeah, it's getting downloaded. Yeah, can you see here? You have many options like you can rotate chart, you can change the shape, you can change the layout, you can change the background. But right now I'm not doing anything because we are timing up. Our time is 12:30. So you can try it. These are all only user-friendly options. You can try it by your own, and you can vertical spacing, how much spacing you want. If you want to some display some smart action button, so if I click on this, can you see here that the entire text is getting changed? So I can type something like concrete. Here I want to type something like corrosion. Okay, so if I type something like here experiment. So whatever you want to type that you can type and you can share. So if you want to share, you can share. If you want to insert something, if you want to insert some hyperlink, if you want to insert some pictures, and if you want to insert some notes or graphs, that is possible. So if I want to insert some picture, so I can insert from my desktop, or if I want to insert something. So can you see that the it has been inserted? The image has been inserted here. So similarly, if you want to insert some graphs or some notes, you can insert them. Okay. So all kinds of options are available, and finally you can buy. It is very nominal. They are charging only if you want to insert some tables. If you insert table, you can insert table. Whatever you want, you can write. I can write row 2. So this is I am only writing. Okay, so all these kinds of options are available with all these tools. Okay, so with this, let me go inside my PPT. I have shown you only one kind of demo. Remaining things that you can try out after the session is over. So again, let me have a small interaction quickly. There are some 6 hidden words in this picture. Can any one of you find out what are all the 6 hidden words? You can write in a chat box. I can take it from the chat box. You have to write all the 6 words, not only one word or 2 words. You have to write all the 6 words that have been basically hidden in these images. Can you start? Can you start guessing what kind of hidden words you have in this? So let me check out on your text box how many of you written all the 6 words. And yeah, people are asking for feedback links. Okay. And story, novel, page, few words are right, but few words are not right. Okay, no issue. We are running out of time. So on Kakku.com is the another website. Again, you can use it for drawing purpose. CACOO.com, Kakku.com. You will have a kind of flowcharts like this, and you have different templates. You can use anything. And Origin Pro is the another software. It's really very good software, especially for 3D diagrams on flowcharts and all kinds of things are possible in Origin Pro. Origin Pro is the one that I have used for my research work also. It's a very good one. It's a very good tool. And Latex Draw is another tool. You can use it again for drawing purpose. And these are all some of the other websites you can use for drawing purpose and other kind of research works. To-do list and data, Elixir and Paperpile. I already given this Paperpile and Deep Dive. And this is what all my session. And finally, I want to conclude within a short period of time, I have given a lot of websites. So it is very difficult for you to understand and to follow all those tools. So don't bother about that. Just pick up one tool which is which you feel is comfortable with the tool or comfortable for your research work. Pick any single tool, try to explore on that tool and try to get the benefit, and always try to incorporate that tool for your research. So it should not be a webinar where you are coming for only a certificate or something like that. You just try to at least use any one tool, whatever I have discussed today. Either you can use EndNote, or I have discussed so many drawing tools there. So you can do anything. So finally, unless you practice, it is very difficult, because I am doing for this for the last 2-3 months. So I am very speed enough, but you guys are listening today only. So it will be a very difficult for you to understand all these concepts in a single hour. Okay, so just don't bother about, just practice, always practice, because we know practice makes a man perfect, and everything is practice. Okay, unless practice, you cannot explore, you cannot get a benefits of that. So with that conclusion, I would like to take up any question and answer. And thank you for all the participants for sitting for the last 1.5 hours with me and patiently listening all my information from my side. And if there are any, I may be a bit speed because I want to finish up. That's why. And thank you all those people, and thank you for all the comments that I'm getting in the chat box. As I told, this is the first day. You will not be, I could not able to understand all the kinds of tools, whatever I have discussed. So just note down my email ID. If you have any clarification, just drop me an email. I will ready to answer for that. Okay. Even after a month, you are practicing something, you are getting a doubt there, just drop me an email. I will answer for that. And thank you all for your participation and for your kind attention. And finally, I want to thank Muthukumar sir. We are basically online colleagues or online friends. He has joined in my FTP. From there onwards, our journey has been started in many kind of such webinars, and he is attending so many webinars, whatever I'm organizing. Thank you for that, sir, and thank you for inviting me for your college, for giving you such wonderful webinar on today. And I want to thank all the coordinators of this program, and I want to congratulate the entire CSE team of Syed Ahmad Engineering College for organizing successfully completed the FDP program, and it is going to end by today. And thank you for that, and special thanks for HOD sir for inviting me. Thank you, sir.